I want to give you guys the beginning of this because I have not always been a private money lender. I started investing in real estate back in 1995. My first deal, I did it with a private money lender. Okay, so I partnered with somebody who was a private money lender. Now, I didn't know anything about private money, and so when I asked, hey, what would you charge me to partner with me on this deal? And he said, tell you what, Lee, I'll make you a deal. I'll put up all the money. I'll put up all the money to buy it. I'll put up the money for rehab, and when you sell it, we'll split the profits. Well, he only ended up lending me about 50 grand, and we split a $30,000 profit, which means he made 15 grand on a $50,000 investment. He charged me 30% to borrow money. Now remember, I charge 8.99, so 30%, pretty extreme. Now, I didn't have any money, so what were my options? I didn't have any. And unfortunately, for those that don't have cash, we are often beholden to the ones that do. So what is your opportunity cost of not having any capital? You got to pay the hard money rates and fees. So I kept doing this. I kept borrowing money from private money lenders. I kept paying their interest and their fees. And I got to a point where I finally had enough money where I felt maybe I could be a lender, but I didn't have any customers. So the first thing I did is I ran a little 4-line ad. And the ad that you're looking at is actually the ad that I ran, okay? I would encourage you guys to write this down, and I would challenge all of you watching right now, we're live. I want to challenge you all to take this ad and right now go place an ad in Craigslist under the real estate or the finance section in Craigslist. You could also put out an ad on Facebook, what is it called? Facebook Marketplaces, okay? I challenge all of you, go ahead and go run this ad right now. Okay, and you will be getting phone calls and texts and emails before this webinar ends. I dare you to try it. Do it. Okay, here's the ad. Fast private money loans secured against real property. No credit check, fast closings, call, put in your name, put in your phone number, and then I would add, I was doing this back in the late 90s, guys, when text messaging and email didn't exist. So it was just a phone number, but now I would put my phone number, my name, my phone number, and I would say text okay. I prefer text messages. I prefer to communicate via text. It's much faster. So just put text okay at the end of your message, all right? Now, I ran the ad and I get a phone call from a woman named Carol, okay? Now, Carol had a 46-unit apartment building in Salt Lake City, Utah. Carol is calling me in November. Okay, now this is 20 years ago. She's calling me in November, and she's calling me because her boiler has gone out, which means there's no heat in the building. And if she doesn't get the boiler fixed in the next 48 hours, all of her tenants are threatening to leave and not pay her rent. So if the tenants don't pay rent on 46 units, which would probably run about $70,000 in monthly income, there's no way that Carol's going to be able to pay her mortgage. So she needs to borrow 25 grand. And you think, well, why doesn't Carol just go to the bank? Guys, banks don't do $25,000 loans in 48 hours or less. She needs the money now. So even discerning parties will choose private money over conventional lending because of the speed at which we can close. We can close very, very quickly, faster than most. So Carol calls me and she explains the situation. I said, okay, Carol, well, tell you what. I said, here's what I could do. You need $25,000. I'm going to charge you 5% in what's called loan origination fees, okay? So loan origination, write that down. So when we broker a private money loan, there are loan origination fees, there are broker fees, and there is the term of the interest, okay? So I said, Carol, I'm going to charge you 5 points in loan origination. I'm going to charge you 25% interest on the loan, but I need you to pay me back in 60 days. Now, as I'm having this conversation with Carol, I'm thinking, you know what? This is a pretty good deal. And yeah, okay, I might have 25 grand, but I might not. Some of you watching right now, you're going, Lee, I don't have 25 grand. Perfect. You don't need 25 grand. All I need you to do is I need you to get the borrower to agree to these terms. Okay, and that's what I did. I got Carol to agree to the terms. She signed an LOI, that's a letter of intent. And when I find somebody else who's willing to lend Carol the 25 grand, I keep the points. Okay, so I got Carol to sign the LOI. She's agreed now to borrow the 25 grand at 5% loan origination, 25% interest. She's going to pay it back in 60 days when she refinances with a bank. And I called up one of my CPA friends, and I knew he was a private money lender, and I called him up and I said, hey, Hal, I've got this deal. She's willing to pay 25% interest on the money. It's only a 60-day loan. Are you interested? And he said, yeah, Lee, what's it secured against? I said, it's secured against a 46-unit apartment building. He said, yes, please. I've never seen Hal write a check so quickly. Carol had money same day. We closed the loan. I got $1,250. Now, as I'm sitting there thinking about it, I made $1,250 for doing what? For running a little 4-line ad in the newspaper, answering the phone, negotiating terms, and then introducing the borrower to somebody who had money. And I went, you know what? If I can do this on one deal, I could probably do this repeatedly on a bunch of deals. Now, I didn't realize at the time, but what I was talking about was being a private money broker. Now, guys, I grew up on a farm, so if you're thinking, well, Lee, duh, that's so obvious. Guys, I grew up on a farm. I had a stay-at-home mom. My dad was a mid-manager at a bank. So we were not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. We kind of lived hand to mouth. I didn't know anything about finances. I didn't know anything about money. So some of you are looking at it going, broker, Lee, that's simple. I didn't know. But guys, from that point of doing that loan, fast forward now 25 years from doing that first private money loan, and here's where it's taken me so far. I'm currently the CEO of several multi-million-dollar enterprises, including capital management, portfolio servicing, private money lending, and buying and selling notes. I'm involved in thousands of real estate transactions around the country and over $1 billion in private money loans, real estate acquisitions, and note and mortgage deed consulting. I am the chairman of several private equity funds managing hundreds of millions of dollars in private money mortgages, and I'm also a published author.